If you've never heard of this book, Show Your Work by Austin Kleon, what do you think it means? Show your work when it's finished? Show your workplace? Show your work as it's happening? I actually had no idea when I first saw this in the bookshop in 2015, but the cute size and the graphics and the blurb on the back hooked me in, and I bought it and devoured it. This is the only non-fiction book I've ever read 3 times. First in 2015, then again in 2020 before I started this YouTube channel, and then again in 2021 for this book review. It is a wonderfully easy read and easily digestible. But despite being quick to read, I think one of Austin's strong points is his ability to communicate big ideas in as few words as possible. And this small book is brimming with cracker sound bites and new ways of thinking. I first read Show Your Work by Austin Kleon in 2015. It was at this time I was getting into photography and making videos, and this book spurred me on to share my work and start a YouTube channel and share my photos and videos with friends and family on Facebook. It was a lot of fun. I read the book and then I gifted that one to a friend, and she is now a published author. This book left a mark on me, the importance of sharing to improve. So, in the middle of lockdown in 2020, when I was developing the idea for this project, the Quilling Quarter, I wanted to refresh my memory on the principles of showing your work, so I ordered it online and devoured it again. And I'm so excited to share with you some of the big ideas in this book. I want to tell you how it applies to me, and also how I can see it applying to others. So in this book review, I'm going to demonstrate real-life examples of people who have shown their work and I have followed and been inspired by. Some quilling artists, some YouTubers, some musicians, and some filmmakers. Before we get into some of the big ideas, let me introduce you to Austin Kleon and his overall concept of showing your work. Based in the US, Austin Kleon describes himself as an author who draws. He has published his redacted poetry collection titled Newspaper Blackout in 2010, and his first book, Steal Like an Artist, in 2012. And in 2014, he published this book, Show Your Work. In the introduction, Austin said that he hates self-promotion. Austin believes if you focus on getting really good, people will come to you. You don't really have to find an audience for your work, they find you. But it's not enough to be good. In order to be found, you need to be findable. This idea, straight off the bat, spoke to me. I hate self-promotion too, but I thought I should study marketing techniques or hire someone to help me promote the Quilling Quarter. But I found that just by doing things and talking to people is enough to start the ball rolling. And this book is just for that. A book for people who hate the idea of self-promotion. So let's talk about some of Austin's big ideas. Austin describes 10 ideas to share your creativity and get discovered. So in this book review, I want to share with you my favourite 4, and while I share each, I'll let you know my experience and how I see these concepts applying to others that I admire. Think process, not product. Process is messy. But human beings are interested in other human beings and what other human beings do. Audiences not only want to stumble across great work, but they too long to be creative and part of the creative process. I found this idea really illuminating. Say you're a painter working on an exhibition. Most exhibitions take months or years to pull together, so if that painter only shares the final product, we may only see their work once a year if we're lucky. Likely it would be amazing, but it is a bit of a flash in the pan. But what happens if that painter shares their work as they go? Say they set up an Instagram account or a blog site and their very first post is a photo of a blank canvas with a caption, "Exciting things afoot." And then from there, that painter shares how they mix their paint, how they sketch their ideas, how they arrange their workplace, and all the components that go into painting and all the other parts that support the painting process. Likely, if you were to follow that painter's journey, you would be heavily invested in the final exhibition. But from the painter's perspective, this sounds terrifying, right? They haven't got any actual paintings to show you yet. They are just sharing their process. They are going out on a limb and sharing the process for something that doesn't yet exist. But this painter has decided to go out on that limb and share their work as they go. As Austin puts it, by letting go of our egos and sharing our process, we allow for the possibility of people having an ongoing connection with us and our work. The most important part of this idea is to document your process. A great example of this is from Quilling artist Cecilia Louis. She had the idea of photographing and documenting her process drummed into her early in her career. And this made turning art into tutorials and launching her courses and YouTube channel much easier. She already did it as a matter of course and documented it in her blog. Simply by sharing her work and her process, she built a steady and loyal audience. She shared her process, not just the final product. Share something small every day. Put your work out there and you'll start meeting some amazing people. This concept is simple, but it's not easy. It is simple to share something every day, but it's not easy. It requires dedication and structure to your day. I am guilty of not delivering. I know that it's a simple concept and it's simple to deliver, but I just don't do it. I find it hard to share every day. The closest that I've got to this experience so far was the Quill November challenge I did in 2020 on Instagram, where I shared a piece of my quilling art every day for 30 days. And I actually found it exhausting. I needed to have a plan on how I did it, because it's not just about sharing the work, it's also about crafting the right words to convey an idea or message. And I have great admiration for the people who do share something every day and bring us in on their process. Someone who is a master at sharing something every day is quilling artist Justine Curran. She shares her work as it evolves. She gives us hints on Instagram about what her next big project is. She shows us the paper strips, the shapes, the assembly, the final product, taking it to the framers, and sometimes even at its final destination at the gallery or with the person who commissioned it. Watching this evolution is really satisfying. Seeing the end product is one thing, but knowing and understanding how much work and time has gone into it makes the product even more valuable. I personally find artists who share their work and their process as they go are the ones I'm often more engaged with as an amateur quiller myself. So while I don't share my work every day, I can see the effect that sharing your work every day has. And I'm far more invested in artists who share their process every day than artists who only share their end results occasionally. Don't turn into human spam. If you want fans, you have to be a fan first. If you want to be accepted by a community, you have to be a good citizen of that community. If you're only pointing to your own stuff, you're doing it wrong. You have to be a connector. If you want to get, you have to give. If you want to be noticed, you have to notice. Shut up and listen. Be thoughtful. Be considerate. I really like the idea that Austin says in this chapter that you want hearts, not eyeballs. Don't waste time worrying about how to get more followers. Just be someone worth following. Two of my all-time favourite YouTubers, CGP Grey and Vlogbrothers, openly admit that they aren't interested in getting more subscribers now. They have a great community and they don't need it to grow for growth's sake. People follow them because they are interested and fascinated with the brilliant ideas these amazing minds share. Of course, sharing doesn't equal spamming, and Austin has a great graphic in this book to show the difference. One of the most frustrating things I find about YouTube is when YouTubers have a long spiel to get people to like, comment and subscribe every time. But like any show, author, artist, musician, if you are worth following, people will follow. So the key point here from this chapter is you're not worth following unless there is something to follow. Make stuff you love and talk about the stuff you love, and then you'll find the people who love that kind of stuff. Stick around. You can't count on success. You can only leave open the possibility for it and be ready to jump on and take the ride when it comes for you. This was made very clear from my interview with Cecilia Louis. While she had always wanted to write a book, the opportunity landed on her lap because she had put her work out there on her blog for years before that. She took the plunge and became a craftsy instructor, which then led her to starting her Paper Zen YouTube channel. A key reason for her success as a published author, YouTuber and artist was persistence. She went about her work sharing high-quality pieces and tutorials year after year. She stuck around. And there are other incredible examples of persistence and people who have stuck around and it has paid off. First example that immediately came to my mind was the singer and songwriter Jason Mraz. He plugged away at writing songs and releasing albums for years in relative obscurity but built a steady base of loyal fans. He had released 3 albums, but it wasn't until his 4th album, where he released I'm Yours on the B side of the album, that actually shot him to fame. But he still has his loyal fan base and keeps producing more songs and more albums. He stuck around through obscurity to world fame and back again.
Well, you done me and you bet I felt it. I tried to be...
Another example is Adam Sandler. He has been in an insane amount of movies and TV shows over the past 30 years. And whether you like his style of comedy or not, he's one of the most successful comedians in the world. And when you release over 60 movies and 15 TV series, there will be a few that reach people's hearts. Other than Happy Gilmore, 2 movies that I really like by Adam Sandler are 50 First Dates and Click. And apparently, according to Netflix research, the average Netflix user has streamed 2.86 Adam Sandler movies. So, like it or not, Adam Sandler knows how to stick around. The final example that is very close to my heart is Australian YouTuber Anne Reardon with her channel, How to Cook That. She is a food scientist who started her channel in 2006 with her iPhone and filmed how to make a Pokemon cake. She has been consistently putting out 1 video per week since then on all things from how to make impossible cakes, magic lava cakes, magic flour desserts, making tiny cakes in her tiny handmade kitchen, how to temper chocolate, how to make 200-year-old recipes, debunking viral video hacks, and how to make a cake with no flour during a pandemic and all basic grocery items are sold out alongside the toilet paper. Anne Reardon acknowledged that she considered quitting YouTube a few times throughout the years, but she consistently puts a new video out every week and her loyal fans supported her. And now she has a cookbook ready for publication, which I can't wait to read. Her journey has been inspiring to watch. Not every video is a hit, but it doesn't matter because as soon as one is out, she's already on to making the next one. She has such a strong connection with her followers and patrons, and I love watching her every week. I don't even make cakes myself, but just watching how enthusiastic and ingenious and excited she is to share her work is contagious. Sticking around has certainly paid off for her. So the lesson here is, just do what you love and keep doing it. Learn things and share them. Look for something new to learn, and when you find it, dedicate yourself to learning it out in the open. Document your process and share as you go so that others can learn along with you. Show your work. And when the right people show up, pay close attention to them because they'll have a lot to show you. I loved the 10 big ideas Austin shares and explores in this book. But what I also love about this book is that he values your time and treats you as an intelligent and respectable human. He even says, always keep your audience in mind. Speak to them directly in plain language. Value their time. Be brief. Learn to speak. Learn to write. Use spell check. I love this concept because it's evident that he practices this too. How often have you read a non-fiction book over 300 pages long and really there's just 1 or 2 sentences in the whole book that actually communicate the central idea? The reason I love this book so much is that Austin actually just lists all 10 ideas on the back of the book, and then the actual book does the work of explaining and supporting these 10 ideas. He is straight to the point and doesn't need to make his point more than once. As Nathaniel Hawthorne has pointed out, easy reading is damn hard writing. I take my hat off to Austin Kleon for writing this book, for inspiring people from all different fields to show their work and explain the fundamental principles, to do so in a simple and easy to digest way. Put your work out there every day and you'll start meeting some amazing people. This I can vouch for. Simply by starting this channel about quilling, I met the Sydney Quillers group and interviewed Leisha Politis and Wendy Verity. Simply by sharing my book review on Anne Martin's book, The Art of Quilling Paper Jewellery, led to us meeting online and me being able to interview her. Simply by sharing my Roses piece with the English Quilling Guild led me to being featured in the Quilling Guild magazine. It's only been 8 months and 40 videos, but it is amazing the people I've met and what I've learned from them. And I think the most amazing thing to have happened since starting this project is all the things that I just couldn't have imagined or planned for. I never thought I'd interview artists from overseas, but because people were now so used to Zoom meetings, it was possible. And so I've been lucky enough to interview Anne Martin from the United States and Cecilia Louis from Canada from the comfort of my home in Sydney, Australia. Also, I didn't know the impact that I'd have on people. Just by sharing my quilling journey and showing people the pieces I've worked on and how I do them has inspired others, which is a pretty amazing feeling. I absolutely love this book. It had a profound effect on me when I first read it in 2015, and it continues to do so. It changed how I view my work and the concept of learning and evolving in front of people. Having people watch and support you makes you learn in a different way to learning in isolation. So I give this book 5 stars and highly recommend you read it. These 10 transformative rules for being open, generous, brave, and productive will change how you think about creativity and learning. Generosity trumps genius. It's not self-promotion, it's self-discovery. Let others into your process and then let them steal ideas from you. It's not about getting famous, it's about improving with accountability. Go on, show your work.